Greetings, family. Greetings. This is Baba Obanjoko coming to you from the Divine Temple of Truth here at Athens, Texas. Today, we have an exciting topic for you. We're going to be covering the 7 laws of creation. The 7 laws of creation, which is an outstanding topic, and I'm sure you'll enjoy. Before we get started, though, let us take just a quick moment to give reverence and prayer to our great ancestors that paved the way so that we may be here today. We give thanks to our great ancestors for all that you have done and all that you are doing to open the road and open the way for us to move forward, onward and upward in our divine path of destiny. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We kiss you to open the road and open the way for us upon this day. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Today, we're going to discuss, see, probably be better. No, I think I will wear these glasses. Today, we're going to discuss the 7 laws of creation. Now, why are we talking about the 7 laws of creation? If you remember a while back, we discussed purpose and destiny. We talked about purpose and destiny. Well, when we discussed purpose and destiny, we came to the understanding that we all are born into this existence for a purpose and destiny. Now, what does purpose and destiny really mean? What does purpose and destiny really mean? When we talk about purpose and destiny, we're not talking about a destination as much as we're talking about a journey of a lifetime. Our destiny has to do with that journey that we experience. So people take different roads of destiny as they travel upon this journey. However, understand that there is an ultimate destiny for us all that is in the eyes of Olodumare, in the eyes of the Creator. We all have a predestined beginning. What I mean by beginning is, some would say end, but a predestined beginning, which means that when we get to one point, we start anew. There's an old saying that we have in Ifá that from the beginning of time, from the very beginning of time, life started. And from the start of the beginning of life, all life is birth and rebirth of some kind. So this topic that we'll be covering today, the 7 laws of creation, has to do with the key to the manifestation, or the key to how but the question is, how do you manifest? How do you bring things into existence? And I'm not talking about necessarily things into existence that you may want, but how do you manifest divine destiny? Let me be clear with this. We have in our minds, based upon inheritances, based upon our experiences, things that we want to have or want to do. That's not to be confused with our divine path of destiny. That's not to be confused with our divine path of destiny. You see, our divine path of destiny isn't a person, place, or thing. It is a journey toward ascension. It is a journey toward ascension. So we must understand how to move in harmony and balance with that journey toward ascension. Meaning that this particular place or life, or whatever you may want to call it, is a place that we're moving through to somewhere. This is why many times in the cultural community, when people transcend, or when people when they say die, we'll say that that person has made transition, that they have made transition, as opposed to death. So let us talk about the principles that are involved here with moving forward to manifest divine transformation. The first law that I want to discuss is called the law of vibration. Vibration. Vibration, the law of vibration says that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything. Not some things, but everything. In every chair, rug, cloud, car, anything, any matter, animate or inanimate for that matter, there is frequency and vibration. For all things are moving. Everything is moving. in frequency and in vibration. That is the foundation which makes all things matter, is the particular frequency or vibration of the movement. So understand that although things may look as if they're static, they're actually not. Everything is vibrating. Everything is in movement. Everything is in path. Everything is in path. In actuality, everything actually has its own destiny. Yes, you heard me correctly. The chair, the bed, the tree, the ocean, the rocks, everything in physical or spiritual existence has energy, has frequency, and has a vibration. That's what makes it what it is. Ashe? Let's talk now about the principle of gender. Let's discuss for a moment the principle of gender. Gender is the duality in all things. There is, remember back when we talked about from singularity, duality being born. Remember when we discussed that? Well, in everything, there's a male expansion and a female contraction counterpart. That is the foundation of all matter, is male, the balance of male and female interaction. The balance of male and female interaction. So we must understand that the sexes are not optional. The sexes are not optional. The sexes are absolute. We cannot have the yin without the yang. We can't have the yin without the yang. And it is that movement within universal order that is ultimately important for the manifestation of anything. Ashe? Ultimately important for the manifestation of anything. Ashe? Why are these laws? Well, the reason that we're talking about these laws is because we want everyone to get a concrete understanding of how to manifest, how to bring things into existence for the balance of divine purpose. Don't get it twisted. These laws operate regardless of whether you're moving on divine purpose or not. So you may have something that you want to do, or something that you want to obtain, or something that you want to receive. These principles still operate. What you think on, what you vibrate on, is what you will attract. And not only are you operating like that, everything in the universe, I'm not talking about just here on the earth, because don't get it twisted. You are a connection with multi-universes. So the earth is like one grain of sand in the Atlantic Ocean to all of the other solar systems that are in the observable universe. Now, we don't know anything about the unobservable. Continue to expand and go out. But I'm talking about in the observable universe, the earth is like one grain of sand in the entire Atlantic Ocean. I should have said in all of the world's oceans, one grain of sand. You are not literally a part of the universe. You are figuratively. You're not figuratively a part of the universe. I'm sorry. You are literally a part of the cosmos. So you are in harmony with the greater whole. And these laws of creation will assist you in understanding how to come into harmony and balance with yourself, and hopefully live a better life. Let's talk about the law of attraction. Let's talk about the law of attraction. I covered that a few minutes ago when I mentioned that what you think or what you focus your mind on is what you draw unto yourself. There was a guy uh, by the name of Einstein who said that imagination is actually greater than knowledge. Imagination is actually greater than knowledge. Now, why would he say something like that? Why would he say that imagination is actually greater than knowledge? Well, you can believe that you understand and that you have a compilation of facts, but it does not mean that those facts will come together and manifest. You can believe that you can know 2 plus 2 is 4, and you can have a theory on relativity. But until you can fix it in your mind and start to see it for yourself, it will not manifest. It will not manifest. So remember that your thoughts are your vision to your future. Pay attention pay attention to what you think, because that shall become your reality. Not right, not wrong, not bad, not good. Those are things that people talk about. We're not talking about right or wrong, bad or good, thou shalt and thou shalt nots, and et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about here now mentality, which leads us into our next topic or law. Our next topic why do we meditate? Why do we want to say mantras? Why do we do mantras? Why do we try to train our minds through discipline and structure on doing the same things over and over and over again? Mentalism. Again, what you put into your mind, what you think over and over is foundational energy, is foundational to connecting you with divine source. That is connecting you with divine source. Ashe? So mentalism is the creation of mind over matter, or connecting mind, your consciousness, to the mind of the divine, which all things are possible and all things come into existence through the divine of the mind. Correspondence. Let's now talk about the concept of correspondence. Correspondence. So above, so below. So above, so below. The universe has no limit. The universe has no limit. The place where we are limited, is in our own individual thoughts, not in the universal existence. As I had said earlier, if you go out into the universe, there is a point of which we go that we cannot go any further, that is beyond the stream of light, or beyond the place where light keeps up with the expansion. So there is no limit. There's no limit for that which is above, so too that which is below. Ashe? Ashe? Let's talk polarity. Polarity, another principle, another law. Polarity says that the pendulum, for example, it swings exactly from the left the same distance it swings to the right. The universe has within itself polarity from the North Pole to the South Pole, from the North Pole to the South Pole. There's rhythm within the universe, which must be established in order for us to come into harmony with self. Think on these principles. Incorporate these principles into your life. Think mentally about how to execute these principles, and you will grow into a greater understanding of self. Omobowale, meaning return. My children, return home to the knowledge of self. It's not about a place. It's not about a people, place, or thing. Return to the knowledge of self. Let's talk about the last principle here, and it's called the law of the cause, the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. Law of cause and effect. Everything that was, is, and will ever be in direct consequence to something else. Let me say that again.
10 minutes.
Everything that was, is, and will be in direct consequence to something else. So there's nothing in existence that was not in direct consequence to something that has preceded it. From the very beginning of time, everything in existence has been consequential to something else. Everything that is in existence has been consequential to something else. So start to think in terms of these laws. Start to live your life in terms of these laws. Why? So that you can position yourself for the ultimate ascension that is absolutely an ongoing process as you continue towards spiritual alignment, enlightenment, and elevation throughout not this lifetime only, throughout your many lifetimes to come that blossoms out into infinity. Ashe? So there is no beginning and there is no ending. You are here now identifying with the things that I'm saying here today so that you may grow into a harmony and balance with yourself. In the name of Olodumare, in the name of the Almighty Creator, I give thanks and I thank you all for listening upon this day. May your life come into greater harmony and balance as you move forward. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Baba Samuel Lee Henry Jr. Obanjoko son of Alice Faye Madison, the spiritual evolutionary. I do thank you for your time and your attention. Is there, how much time do we have left?
6 minutes.
If there's anybody that came online that has any questions or comments or observations, the line is open for any questions and comments on and or observations that anybody may have. Okay. So if nobody has any comments or questions or observations, then we're going to end the presentation for this day. Again, I hope that everybody that came to the call was able to receive something that they could carry on for within their life for progress and elevation. This again, Babo Banjoko. Have a good day. Have a good life. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.